Why are we scared to speak truth? And now, Gibino, what I'm noticing is that the idea of being vulnerable is unheard of in 2021. You cannot be vulnerable. Do you think that this idea of a 100% dependent woman or wife is one of the contributors to GBV?
I don't think there's one specific answer, but some of it, that is a contributor. For some people. I don't think there's one formula to answer that.
So there's you can't say there's one thing that contributes to GBV. Like you could be an independent woman working and you'll still experience.
Yeah, sometimes you're just dating a monster. You're dating a guy that's not in tune with his emotions.
People come into relations with you, Gibine, and with the rest of us, and they have demons. And their demons are of insecurity, demons of want, demons of entitlement, demons of sex, demons of everything nasty you can think of, right? And that is why, people go into relationships and you meet this amazing woman, or you think she's amazing, or this amazing man you think is amazing. And within a few weeks or few months, you discover that this person uhamba namadimoni. Unamadimoni.
Do you think the whole idea of men sleeping with different women, they carry different spirits?
Yeah, they do. And it's mental, it leads to mental illness in your demons. So unedimoni elinama characteristics ahlukile ahlanyayo. Omunye uthanda sex, omunye uthanda imali, omunye umahosha, omunye lalela uhamba na wonke lamadimoni that you carry. And that's why for me, I feel like we really have to understand why we have to engage sexually with people. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's nice because you feel like it, but we have to take a deeper understanding as to why am I engaging with you sexually? Yes, I find you attractive, but doesn't mean I must sleep with you. Abantu bafika kuma relationship namadimoni abo. And they think that they can have their demons either enhance whatever they have or whatever they think they have with you. So I think in terms of ipogi, it's people. Obviously, it might not be ipogi zokuthi uzothola uvera nama boys nani, but the idea that the demons that I have that are most of them are very sexual. Because I believe utama demoni like to go beyond the line. The demons that can carry you kuma chandeliers and make you do things that are extraordinary. And you think that those things are the ones that can either capture a man or a woman or enhance the relationship that you have.
I don't know much kadipogo Joe in relationships. Nagitsamai masangoma, akitsamai kereke, so I don't know.
But why would you mention Izangoma?
No, I said masangoma le kereke. You can both my demon from both of them.
Yeah, but why? No, I'm not defending. I just want to understand, why would you automatically think Izangoma?
Because those are the two biggest things that I deal with: spirituality, Christianity, and Musangoma from how I grew up.
And why would you think that Ubzangoma? I don't want to speak in terms of on behalf of the church, but why would you automatically think that Izangoma deal with Ibogi, Namadimon?
No, those are my two realities that I grew up with. Unfortunately, I didn't grow up with any other form of religion or any other thing that deals with a spiritual realm. It's only these two. I've only known these two.
So I want to correct you.
Yeah.
Right? That the idea of Ubzangoma, ne? And I'm speaking from my personal spiritual experience and my personal spiritual belief that it should not be associated with Ibogi and things that are negative. Because mawukhuluma ngeibogi namadimoni ukhuluma ngabathakathi. And that's different, right? And ubuthakathi obviously comes in any form through the church, through Ubzangoma, through its any form of spiritual realm, really, right? And I'm from a school that believes that ubzangoma is not one-dimensional, right? Even the church as well, right? Where people think that issues of zangoma have to do with ubtagati and, things that are outside of, natural experiences, right? And because of the person that I am and being isangoma that I am, I strongly believe that the gift I've got has got absolutely nothing to do with ubtagat because it's not part of my nature. It's not in my natural experience. It's not even in my spiritual experience. So I would personally not like to be associated with anything that has to describe ububi, or demoni, because I'm not from that world. It's the same as saying that women these days, which is a term that's naturally used, and not to say that people are wrong, but women these days are hoes, or women these days use men, or women these days are about money. Is it something that's not happening? It is happening. But I would personally not like to be associated with that derogative term, whatever the term is, because I'm not part of that female species, right?
But there is a departure point that most of us that are Black, we know of this too. So whenever we think of the Dugolosh or whatever, we always go to these 2 points.
But that has got nothing to do with being isangoma.
Okay.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Right? That's got nothing to do with being umfundis.
But you tap from that.
No, you tap from a spiritual point, but you can hide behind that. It's like a man who is a cheat and is a liar and is abusive, but he marries someone. So you can't automatically say men who are married are abusive and they cheat but it's somebody who naturally has it in them to cheat and be abusive but he marries someone because he wants to hide behind marriage. It's the same concept. So you cannot say that ubzangoma, or ubtagati stems from being isangoma.
But the question is, why do we have that perspective then?
No,
what has went wrong
it's
for
because
us to have that?
Naturally, izangoma specifically, they've also made it seem like ubsangoma is only limited to imithi nobuthagat, right? And they've also limited ubsangoma babo to every spiritual healing they provide is one size fits all solution. If you come to me with a problem that has to do with your spirituality, my solution is Melio Twasa. Right? And if there's no other solution besides that. So I've never experienced somebody who says Isangoma has taken me through some type of spiritual therapy. Where I've come to understand the journey I'm in or the position I'm in and how I can get myself out of it. But spirituality cannot have one size fits all solution. Then that means every single person is a sangoma.
Okay.
That's the solution. Then that means why don't we just all sambe nisyo twasa sonke? You understand what I'm saying? Because there's no person that I've met that has never come to me and said, even the ones that write to me, online, who don't come to me and say, oh, or I've got these problems and I've told that I ngidinga ukuthwasa. It's not surprising to me because izangoma have done a disservice to our people because we haven't done the work that needs to be done spiritually. We are lazy as izangoma, that we don't give the people what they need. It's like therapists who say every relationship, your solution to people is get married. You guys must get married. And sometimes it's okay to say to people, you guys should not be together. At this rate, you shouldn't be together.
So you're saying sometimes the Sangoma just tell someone, hey, Mona, when you're depressed, finish and clear.
That's it.
Now twice and whatnot.
Yeah, and your depression stems from the engagements they've had with you because it's part of your spiritual therapy. Same as ubfundis. You can't be telling everybody what they need to be abefundis. I come
Yeah,
and see
like,
you as
yeah.
umfundis. No, the
Drink
solution
petrol.
to your mele umfundis. Your solution to your marital problems, iba umfundis. You understand? It's a disservice to our people. And that is why Black people think African spirituality only is limited to ubsangoma and uktwasa and ubtagat. So every problem that you have stems from ukuthi uthakathiwe. Your friend is bewitching you. Kunomngani wakho, she's short, she's dark, she might be a little what. Yeah, ukudlela umona. She actually wants your life. Kunosisi wakho. Yabona lo sisi wakho lo, she doesn't have 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, why is it that everything that has to do with what I believe in and what I've practiced have to do with the negative? Sometimes it's the positive. Bodi, you need to start afresh. You're in a position in your life where you have to start afresh. Just like having to go back to school again and empowering yourself in some way. You're an IT person, but it's currently not working for you. So go back to school and become whatever is higher than just IT, be it management, be it whatever. It's the same even in spirituality, where you are this, now you're moving to a different level in your life and you need some type of empowerment. And that's my job as somebody who you are coming to spiritually to help you grow in the spirit. But I can't say to you, Meli, uyotwaselani. Kini, what do you guys believe? Abakini bakutshela ukuthi kumele uyotwasa yini. Sometimes uthwasisa ngisho idlozi lakho. Uhambe wena uyothwasisa abantu. There's so much involved, but we've limited it and done such a disservice to our people that as soon as you speak of izangoma, that's why most people don't even believe in them, because the only thing is isangoma siyongitshela ukuthi ngiyathakathwa. Uhlangana nobuthakathi lento engidlula kuyona. It's not part of life experience, growing me in terms of my character, my thinking, my spirituality, and moving me to the next level of my life. Because for you to grow to the next level of your life, some type of challenge needs to happen, which means a muscle must be stretched, whatever muscle it is, mental, spiritual, physical, and muscle must be stretched. Kubhlungu, yes. Kubhlungu, for all of us. Whether you're in fundis, whether we're sangam, kubhlungu for all of us. But the problem is we've limited it to only a certain group of people go through this thing, and the solution should be this. Especially from a perspective of isangoma. And somebody will say to me, is that why when you don't go emcimbini isangoma? I won't. Because for me, it's when I go to lo mcimbi, I need to be growing in the spirit. But what am I there for? I'm there to what? To drink and see who's giving more blankets than who. And what am I doing? For me, ukuthi ngifike emcimbini, I need to, by the time I leave lo mcimbi, spiritually, I must be so fulfilled that when I tap into the world again, I can face the world and understand that there's nothing that I can't get over. But right now, I'm going what? Because I'm famous, or because ngisangoma that's also invited and I'm expected to be there. No, it needs to make a huge difference in my life. Even if I go to church, what am I going there for? I must get there. Something needs to grow inside of me by just being in that space. And it's the same as in our relationships. You're in a relationship so that what? So you can have sex? You can buy sex. You can ask a friend for sex. But if I'm with you and I'm not growing in any way, Gibine, where the conversation really, there's nothing that happens. Because what? Because Umosles is no more handsome, but like that's all you've got to offer me, your looks, then there's no point. I'm pretty enough. Give me something else.
What is that something else?
That something else is when I engage you, are you able to make me understand where I am mentally, where I am spiritually, where I am emotionally? It doesn't mean I'll agree with you, but where you help me question the stages that I'm passing as someone who's growing. If your presence doesn't make me question anything, then really what's the purpose of you in my life? Honestly and truly. It's like if my child doesn't see a purpose of me being in her life, it's not about them agreeing with me, but it's about them being able to be challenged by my presence in their life and understanding, yes, I don't agree with my mom and how she thinks, but I I understand the challenge that she brings to me. And the challenge is, I don't agree with it, but it's this and this and this and this and this. In a relationship, I don't challenge anything. You don't challenge me financially. You don't challenge me mentally. You don't challenge me emotionally. You don't challenge me mentally. You are sexually different from me.
So have you found someone that has challenged you in any other aspect?
In the past 7 years?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Ah.
I really
So
have.
they've all failed.
They've been interesting because you meet them, you go on these amazing dates and you have these great conversations, but they are very limited. They can only give me a certain part of themselves. And it's not because there's anything wrong with them, but it's because there's something more that I'm looking for. And I haven't found it. Unfortunately, I haven't found it. Will I find it? I don't know. Is it there? I don't know. But what I know is...
Chance, what are you doing wrong, Bafetu?
I don't know. I think, like she said, I guess sometimes guys tend to present themselves in a limited way because you feel like sometimes you're not sure where the thing is going. So you don't want to put yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
And also sometimes, in my personal experience, it's like you can do that, but then that one bad thing or that one bad experience happens with that person, and then you revert back to being that guy who's limiting.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I feel for black men a lot. I really do. I'm at a stage where I'm making a conscious effort to try and understand black men. Will I ever understand them? I don't know. But I'm trying to put myself in a position of what a black man goes through. A black man walks past me while I'm parked in this parking lot and I panic. Is it fair of me? I can't say no. I can't say yes. But that's what a black man experiences. That I'm going to pass this woman, and as I pass her, she's going to have some type of panic. And it's not fair. Just because he's black and he's a man, that's his experience. That's his daily experience. And that must be traumatic for a good black man who's just literally walking past. But because he looks a certain way, or he's dressed a certain way, or ufagi sporty, or he walks a certain way, immediately it makes him something that he doesn't even know what it is, but it makes him something. He's part of something that he's also trying to figure out what it is, because he's not a bad man, but he is. And he's trying to understand how does me being a guy waselokishini ophantayo because ngifaka isporti, because it's part of my culture of where I come from, automatically it makes me a bad guy. That's what black men experience on a daily. In the morning, at night, in the day, that's what a black man goes through. You're a black guy who's like you. You're genuine. You're trying to show this girl that you genuinely like her, but you're a fool for it. You're not man enough for it, right? You're a black guy who's genuinely trying to make a living for yourself and make some type of provision. It's not enough because you're not bringing a C63.
You even know the car?
I think I actually meant to say G63. I don't know if there's a C63.
You even know that there's a G63.
And you're that guy.
How? Where do you know this C63, G63?
Because I live in that type of area.
God damn, man. God damn, man. Oh, man. God damn. That was a young chap and them niggas.
Yeah.
Yo, did you hear? It's like a 1400.
No.
Mazda.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. So a black man is constantly in a position where, today at least, in 2021, he's just, it's like his mere existence is about proving how much better he is. So you can never be a black man and be comfortable in the position that
But
you're
it's
in.
hard as well, though, Mvelase, because remember, these girls always go for that alpha male.
No, but
also flop it as well. For that.
no. But the thing is, I always say to you, Kibine, what woman are you approaching? The problem with you men is you approach a certain type of normal, looking woman, normal woman. And it's also not enough for you. It's not enough for you. So all of us are just never enough. A woman who's good enough, she works at wherever she works, she's got a decent job or an okay job, and she works hard and she saves whatever she can and she takes care of her kids and, uyakufakela petrol ka 100 rand and, she really does the best she can. She's not enough because you work with a Lerato Mvelase and you want what you assume is better than what you already have at home. She wants what she assumes is better than what she already has at home because this guy is just a security guard. But that's what I was saying about media and how it's made us an insatiable society because it's just, we can never be fulfilled enough by anything. Your car is not enough. Your home is not enough. Your children are not enough. Nothing is enough. And it's like we are constantly searching for this other type of fulfillment. Like we are not even on earth. We live in some type of space and there's literally nothing to hold on to because we are searching for something. If you ask anyone, you have this amazing man who does the best that he can, whether he buys you a G63, whether he puts 100 rands petrol in your car, but he's a man who literally does the best that he can in that moment. But there's always somebody better.
Yeah, and women, I don't know who was saying this, saying that women never want to live according to the budget of the guy. They don't
Yeah.
want to go beyond.
Yeah.
Can afford quarter.
Yeah.
Quarter, 2 liter, later 5 rand.
Yeah. She wants.
Wena, what later 55.
Yeah.
But that's why you guys put us under pressure, hey, Mvelase.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Aye,
the
nah,
media.
man. Yes.
Because we've filled our mind, and I'm so worried for our kids that we've filled our mind with these ideas of Kim Kardashians.
Eish. Marupagile, Maria. Kim Kardashian
She bought it. So for me, but she bought it. But stop. But she bought it.
Yeah? 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 No, ke re ka o paga. Ke le rate ke natural. Natural. Ke le pagist natural. Like a pack street. Like natural. Guys, put a picture of Rato Yine. A little pack. You're right. But social media, man, like...
It's messed us up.
But I think human beings, in their nature, they live up to the standards of people that are above them. All of us are doing that. All of us. There's a reason why...
Or who we think is above us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because some people put on a show for us and we believe it.
So the question then is, we really maybe need to start looking up to different people. There's a reason why we all move from Ekasi to the burbs, because that's what assumed as a good life.
Yeah.
Amaravela is a good life. Ekasi mfethu abasichontshela na ba akuna ne ADT Ekasi. It's right.
No, the thing is, I don't have issues with people aspiring for more. Like if you look at our second episode.
Yeah.
With what's her name?
Mbali,
for example, right? Mbali aspires for a lifestyle of a house mom. She aspires for that.
I don't even see Mbali being able to take care of kids.
Yeah. My thing is, she aspires for what she looks at in the media, and for her, it looks right. This woman sits at home and maybe she goes to gym, and this man takes care of everything. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with aspiring for things. My problem is when Black women put Black men under pressure to now fulfill this lifestyle. I mean, a guy osebenzela ingane yakhe nogokwakhe and he's a DJ. I mean, how much do you really expect that guy to be able to do?
Mara, why do then, all the episodes here, if you know that we're in the same hood, there's a certain bracket of income that we all get in that specific hood,
Yeah.
When is the chair? Where do you expect to that extra money?
But that's what I'm saying.
Where do I get it from?
Yeah.
And when I was planning. But the thing is, how are women surviving while they don't work? That's another thing. It's because the guys that they go for will give them money.
Yeah.
And but you're traveling to Dubai, Durban, and what.
And that's my thing. Ukuthi Kibine, we put pressure. I mean, if I'm dating a guy, Ozbwele Tembisa, who one maybe is working as a security guard, right? How much do you think this guy is making? Right? How much is he making? I don't know how much security guards make, but how much do you really think he's making for him to support you and your child and himself and his child and maybe even his family? So my thing is, it takes somebody who's mature enough to be able to do a background check on themselves first before you even do on the man or the woman, depending who it is, right? Where you go, I don't even make 100 rand.
Me and myself.
Mina self.
Yeah.
Anginayo 100 rand. Anginayo. Ayikho indawo la ngisebenza khona ngithi ngenza 100 rand to afford myself and this child that I've got. So whatever guy I get, right? Yes, you could get a millionaire. It's possible. It happens, right? But if I'm going to date a guy who's a security guard, the least I can do is be able to sit down with my man and find out what he's able to do. Find out from him what he's able to. I need to want to be a house mom, and there's nothing wrong with it. But find out from him what he's capable of doing, what he's able to do, what he's willing to do. Because the guy could be like, listen, I'm happy to date you, but I'm not willing to take care of you and your kid. I'm not willing to do nothing for you even, right? But because we are sebenza, I automatically think that this guy should be in a position to provide for me because 2 years ago I dated a millionaire or 1,000. You know what I mean? And it's not fair. And that's what I feel, is unfair, is it's pressure put on black men who must now end up, I don't know, they must go rob banks because now they have these women they must provide for. And he's making a decent income for himself at least. But now he's got this woman who's making all these demands. You must take care of me. You must do this. You must do that. And the sad part, Gibin, is that these conversations are not had right at the beginning of the relationship. So this guy is going in thinking, me and this girl, we're cool. We siyahlangana emaphab, kumnandi, we chill. Next thing, 6 months in the relationship, and she's like, yeah, you never give me money. And he's like, what do you mean I never give you money? Already I'm making 3,000 rand. 1,000 rand goes towards my kid. 2,000 rand is towards my rent and my food. So which money must I give you? Then it becomes a whole thing, But in the same breath, Gibine, there's certain things that black men do to black women. So it's like, there are these pressures that we continuously put on each other, differently, but it's pressure. And that's why you find many black women who are like, Mina, I'm not going to date South African men anymore. Or I'm not going to date black men anymore.
Yeah, Mara, that thing is unfair though, because, and I know a few women who are like that, Velo. Otla tell her, no, I'm not going to date black men because they hurt me. And that person has only dated 3 black men. So now we must all suffer.
Yeah.
Because of 3.
And it happens, Gibine. I mean, how many of us are still going through issues that we experienced as kids? Now you've experienced 3 black men that have abused you, used you, and everything else you can think of, right? So it's this continuous pressure on each other as black men and as black women. It's like we can never get to a point where we meet each other halfway, where it's like, listen, I don't have a degree. Maybe I do have a degree, but I don't have a job, or I'm starting a business, or I'm a security guard, or whatever. But Mina, I work as a cashier, and so how do we meet this relationship halfway? Because outside of a relationship, there's a life, your children and your family, my children and my family. So how do we meet this relationship halfway?
Maybe, maybe the thing is we go into relationships for the sake of it's been a normal pattern in society. And we don't truly understand what it actually means to go into one.
No.
Maybe that's why we're so toxic towards each other. Like we don't know. We're just doing it because, the whole world is dating. Someone is dating someone, Mama is dating.
No,
Mama.
it's that thing, Gibino, where we are dating for the sake of dating now. Where conversations are not had anymore. Where the minute I say to you, what are we doing? It's yo. Pressure. What are we doing? But if you really think about it, from day one, the minute you approach me and we start talking, and when we do eventually go on that date, and I say to you, what do you want? And you say to me, I want a shag. oh, I want a relationship. Then it saves you the trouble of having to deal with this woman who's now after the sex. She's going to be nagging you. Now she's like, oh, now you don't call anymore. Oh, what are you're not talking anymore? Because she understands. You told her from day one, listen, sissy, I'm not in this to win it. I'm in this to get it. Right? Booty, I'm in this to get it, whether financial or physical, whatever. But I'm getting this and I'm out. But those are conversations that as soon as you try and have them, then it's like, oh, Lerato, yo, manje usengifakile phakathi, uyangibuza, what are we? What? No, I'm not asking what are we because I'm expecting you to say we are together. I'm asking so that I understand what my position is in this engagement, right? And also I know how to relate to you because now if I'm relating you to like window damn, hey babe, meanwhile you're thinking yo sengishaya babe, akamelo.
And machita ba ngaya ra le wait.
Akame.
Machita lona sa barata buza chiridi baby.
Hey, but what is this thing, Gibine? Okay, please tell me, what is this thing of babe? Like, we haven't even gone on a date.
I don't do those things.
But what is it? You're a man. Maybe you understand.
Now I'm a man. Like a average man.
So you don't do babe?
Oh,
Komuto, do you do babe?
Oh, what do you mean say it? Yeah, like, hey, babe.
Yeah, like you asked me out 2 days ago, right? And we've just been chatting and then you wake up and then you're like, hey, babe.
No. Real men don't do that.
Jump the gun.
Yeah, what is this babe thing?
Yeah.
Let me
I think
ask
it's
this
weird.
one.
Sis,
This
you
one
do-
is a 2000.
I'm strictly.
He dates 2000s.
For two and then.
No, I don't.
You don't do the babe thing?
No, unless we are.
Official.
Yeah, and we both understand, but we are.
Guys, this is so
No,
weird.
I don't do babe.
This is so weird. Every single guy, Kibine, you know, every single guy I've been on dates with that has asked me out or seemed like they're asking me out.
Give
All
her,
of
hey,
them.
babe.
Morning,
Yeah,
babe.
what's the problem? Machita, the thing is, guys don't know how to approach you. That's why you need to be approached by Machita. That's the only way, because only a real nigga is not polluted by society a lot when it comes to shellering. He only knows one form of shellering. He's not polluted a lot about movies and all that. He only knows one form, and that's, to be honest, and that's it. So when I'm Machita, how? One, you're a celeb. Two, they're trying to mimic some things from movies.
Abo babe.
Yeah, baby. When I to shall I say in a vocab, baby. You know, you see, so Florida, so those guys, they don't know how to approach you. So they'll only use the typical things. Hey, babe, wash up, good morning, good afternoon, sleep well at night. Nah. So when are you even found a guy that meets your standards that's able to shell you? You haven't. Flopira. That's why I get like Tolal Panzula, man. No, like Le Panzula Lizaga. Like imagine me in a Lizaga. Imagine me in a Lizaga. Like Oganjol. Because I'm not polluted by it's I'm telling you. But
Yeah,
that
no,
babe thing, Shema, it's
this babe thing really for me.
You don't like it?
No, I don't.
What?
I find it, it's like, uya papa.
Oh.
You're already moving on to a certain stage. And then society says to me, please, don't, it's not that serious. So I'm confused because I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not, so it's like a thing because even women understand it. Where they even say to guys, hey, babe. And for me, babe, like if I start calling you babe, like you must understand, you might, yeah.
When I was old school, man.
I am.
When I was the nation, we were under the bar like a 6 o'clock. Come on, Antoine. Under Apollo.
Yes, that's exactly it. So for me, the minute you say babe, you are saying more. Than just because that's what I was saying to you earlier. I'm like, I feel like I don't fit in.
I think God must just create a man for like I'm here, man. I'll draw and I'm fit. Oh, fair. Because more fasting mo says it ninja. Says what dog more. Who fed it? Majida fed it. Majida didn't have a rule.
No, Komoto don't. Komoto, don't even nod. No, please
You
don't.
are the last real niggas. What are we supposed to do about it? We can't help it.
Come on, so you, real nigga.
No, I'm telling you, we're the last
Close
one.
enough. Close enough to the truth.
When you join nama Belgian when
I'm telling you, Donna, we are the last ones. you know?
nama shine.
Which episode do you want to talk about, Mvelase?
I want to talk about that episode where, in fact, this very one, they're great. The Mfundisi.
Eish. But what has happened? Episode Mfundisi.
Yeah. This is my thing, Kibine.
Okay.
Ukuthi the way kuna manga ngakhona.
Oh,
The way nina manga abantu besilisa ngisho nabefundisi bana manga. Like, where are we gonna run to? Where must we go, Kamuto? When abefundisi, umfundisi, uvula iBhayibheli, ukhulume nebandla lakho, ubatshele ukuthi uNkulunkulu uthi kodwa usabhisi. Now this was that.
no, not the Mfundisi stories. It's still complicated for me. Why did they break up?
Because ubhizi brothers.
Oh, Mfundisi ubhizi le ditšhiri tse dingwe. Mara Mvelase a le ntšhaleng something when it's ditšhiri mfethu, ne? Why else are you share mfethu?
The same way you don't want to. It's literally the same.
Mara bona, ne? There's a ratio, Wolfasing. What is the ratio now? 8-1, 7-1, 6-1?
I think it's
Woman?
even 10.
Yeah, probably a 10. Ne? So out of that 10, well, now one G, then it's 9. So 9 yearly it's what must happen to that 9? It's selfish, eh?
No, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing. It's just a matter of engagement. Let's talk about it. And let's be honest about it from the beginning. Ungangilethela ama surprises omnakwethu. Ngivuke sekunomnakwethu. And I'm like, how? When did this happen? How did this happen? But if you told me from the day ungishela ukuthi lalela muntu enkosi mina ngumuntu wesithembu ngizofuna abanye abawu5 at some point. Then get ready. If I agree, I go in knowing ukuthi hayi uTebogo bangitshela nje shema ukuthi wena umuntu wesithembu bakhona abanye abawu5 abasazofika. Ukuthi mina ngiyoba uNdlunkulu ke. But bakhona abanye. So nina manga. Ninamanga. And that's why abantu besifazane sebanamanga. Abantu besifazane banamanga.
Basadi no you must shy, no. Basadi. Basadi abasadlala no. No, you're right. Eh? Some guys said we must stop relationships in general.
Stop them.
Yeah, just stop. And then finish.
You know, there's a friend of mine, a colleague of mine actually, who said to me last week, she said, I asked her if she's got someone. She said, no. Then I was like, oh my God, so like we don't have people. And she's like, no, but I'm having sex. And I'm like, you're having sex? Like, what do you mean you're having sex? Like, you don't have someone, but you're having sex. And she's like, yeah. And she said to me, Lerato, gone are the days when a guy is going to approach you and say, hey, I like you. Can we be in a relationship? Can we try something? Forget it.
Madam
Now, we are in a position where you meet someone, there is chemistry, and you work from that chemistry, which means the interaction with that person is first physical. Remember, before the physical was the last bit, where you date, you engage, maybe have more dates, and then start liking each other because you talk so much. And then now it starts at the end, or what we believed was the end is now the beginning. I meet you on the first night, or we engage for a few days on the phone, or whatever you engage on. And it's by the time we meet, it's let's do the deed. And depending on how well the deed goes, we might do it again, and then again, and then again. And then the conversation might start. Then the bonding might start. Then the liking might start. Then the falling in love might start. where somebody actually says, I want more from you than just the sex. So it's now a matter of women like me having to understand that, everything's now reversed, and be cognizant of the fact that things work differently from what they used to be, and accepting it without judgment. Because at first I used to judge it. It was how? You meet a guy, you sleep with him? Oh my gosh, that's so low, and ha 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 ha. Now I've come to understand that there's two things that must happen with me specifically. I either hop on the train and understand that this is how things, the evolution you were talking about, this is how things are now, they are now, or I literally step off and not be part of it at all.
No, or you wait for the guy. Because
That's
the
what I'm
guy
saying.
is there.
Yeah,
The guy is there.
the
for
guy
you.
is there. So that's what I'm saying. When you hop off the train and you wait, the waiting could be forever.
Wait, Ntan. Don't be part of this thing. It's got to join a run.
No,
Nara
but-
senior run.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Annihilate a run.
But women are also annihilating.
Baka sloki. Namuna re annihilate west. Nara west.
Yeah.
Namuna refita tikanyo.
But you see,
Resinse.
hence women are now like that. So my thing is, all of us are in a position, men or women, right, where you decide to hop onto the evolution train. And that's a train that says, I'm going to meet someone, have sex with them, and, it's during the sex that I'll decide if I like them.
Yeah.
And maybe after a few sessions, I'll decide if I want to love them. And it's either you're part of that train, that evolution, because that's where it's at, right? Hence, women are now shooting their shots. Or you step away from it and you wait. How long the wait will happen, you don't know. I mean, if I think about, my mom has been single since she was my age. And my mom is in her late 60s. And she's been single that long. So it's either I get to a point where I accept that I might just be single forever. And it's possible, right? Or I decide to change my mindset and adjust to the idea of I just need to find someone to have sex with. And hopefully the sex leads to something more, which is what me and this colleague were actually talking about. That find someone, she said to me, find someone to have sex with and hope that the
It
sex
leads
will
to-
lead to some type of relation and then the relationship. And if it doesn't, it's also okay. Am I okay with having sex with someone that I don't know if they want to be in my life or not? I don't know. I've never imagined myself in that position. But now I have to think about it.
Smash one nyana, Ntona. Smash nyana nje.
Smash who?
Utope nyana nje, mu smash nje. Then uta wanna maybe that develop a nyana.
Kivine,
Smash one lucky guy.
who's this lucky guy?
Tola uti one nyana, Ntona. Bentening nyana. Amaro kid bentening as
No.
Mara problem with the people your age, but to get swiki ri, kirushika diabetes, I live on
And-
a shwa.
But we'll
Mo
have
tsore ke di corona ai ena age group ya na corona ya lenga e le lona
Kivine.
no mara you find someone then ska stress
No, I mean, I'm not stressed about it. I just admire the girls that have come onto the show. No, do I admire them? Maybe admire is the wrong.
no you do because you at times you want to have what they have even if it's for a day I know you do admire them I know one day you want to behave like Mbali one day you feel like or else today Mbali today
For 800 rand a week.
yeah I want money
Which, I mean, we do. Don't we all want money? To a
know.
degree.
No, I won't do it the way that some of the people have come on the show do.
No, I mean, not like that. But these girls have made me judge women. The girls that we've had on the show.
Mm-hmm.
They've really made me judge women because it's like they are so blatant in their entitlement towards a man's pocket. It's not even a thing of, I want him to take care of me by doing things for me, every now and then. It's No, you must take care of me, pay my rent, buy my makeup and my clothes. And I'm just like, yo, Kibine, I can't even find someone to buy me lunch.
Hey, we're not playing life is here, man.
Lunch.
Kore ayiyo awutshela thing for wena ayiyo. Ayiyo mfana.
I can't find someone to buy me lunch. Lunch. Ngiyakubona konke. Lunch. A simple lunch.
Maybe another thing that you do, maybe with the guys that you guys, what is the word? Courting stage, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Maybe what you are doing wrong is that because maybe men have put you in this position, sometimes you don't allow the man to show you kindness. Do you think maybe you go through that sometimes? You don't allow him to be
A man.
the man.
You know, to some degree, let me be honest, I have that problem. I really do. But also, I guess for me, it comes from how I view the struggles men go through. You know, this idea of you have to be a provider, no matter what. That I feel it is my responsibility to make a man feel comfortable to know that I can do it for myself. And not because I'm trying to take anything away from him,
Okay.
but because it's me thinking that I'm easing his
His burden.
burden.
So broke. Hore bona nje re ntse di broke tse. Ke tlo di thusa, ke tlo patala bill, ko patala bill, ko patala bill. We're all getting a bill here.
Yeah. Bill for you, bill for you, bill for you, bill for all of you, you know? And I understand why. I've had some men say to me, when come to daughter. And at first I used to be very offended because I'm like, what do you mean? But now I've come to understand what it means. Like for them, it's you're not giving me an opportunity to show you that I can take care of you, that I can be. But for me, it's like, one, I don't want him to feel like I'm using him because he's been with women that he must pay for. So I'll pay.
I want it's messed up, hey? It's messed up and fun. You're polluted, the guy's polluted as well. Then it's like, where are we gonna find this balance?
So my thing is, just from this season alone, Kibinene, and what I've seen this season, I've seen men who speak about their manhood being taken away from them. And I don't know what that means. It's like, I wish men can tell me what it means to be a man. Like, what does it mean? Don't tell me about what the Bible says or what your grandparents say or what your parents say. I want to understand when you speak of a position of a man, what do you as a man mean?
Yeah.
And what do we as women perceive that position is?
To be.
And what do we as women, what is our position as women?
But that thing is complex to answer. I'm gonna try answer it. I don't know how far we'll get. So I think identity of men was always linked to, if you look at it in the past, the man is the one that has the resources. I think from a tangible point of view, you can go out and hunt and bring back the skudu or whatever.
Yeah.
Part of the things that was identified as a man was the fact that a man can slaughter. You know, he can slaughter this thing. That was part of identity. This man goes to the mountain and he learns a certain thing. You know, I've never been to a mountain, but there's a certain thing that people learn. You know, and what these things, and then there was the whole thing of the idea of respect. It's almost like whatever the man says in the household, it has to be linked to truth. That is what is the truth of the household, you know?
Yeah.
I think right now, men are finding it difficult to find out what it is to be a man because all the supposed things have been taken away from them.
Yeah.
Ne?
Because women can do them.
Yeah, women can do themselves. So right now, this guy is in this relationship and he's like, yo, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? Like, really, what am I doing in this relationship? And now, equally, you've got women who are also empowered, who are taught that men are trash. So whenever the man tries to exercise something, the woman's like, no, but I can also do it.
So do you think we are in a position now as a black society where black men need to start engaging differently? Because ansa entabeni niyokhuluma ngeindaba zenu.
Yeah, some go, but not
right?
all of us. Sure,
yeah,
sure.
but where it was a thing to go entabeni, right? For most cultures, at least, right? And ni kukhulunywa ngokuba indoda, and you come back with that, whatever that knowledge is, right? That is not really
We
happening.
don't slaughter anymore.
There's not, yeah, most people don't necessarily slaughter, right? So do you think we're in a position where, as a Black society, we need to make time at some point, whether it's during Heritage Day or Heritage Month, where this engagement is held on what exactly does it mean to be a man in this time?
True. Yeah, but now until our Black society come together, those are fairy tales. I always tell you, pick your group and redefine this thing. This thing of wanting to fight for everyone. Hey, you won't sleep at night. Eh? People are listening to Amapiano Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they're gonna ban the Pakistanis' place on Monday.
In fact, even Mapiano on Monday.
On top.
On
Then they're
Makosi
gonna ban
Monday.
that guy's place and say, he's taking our jobs, wow, women, whatever. But what were you doing? You were just chilling there doing fuck all. So this thing of wanting to fight for everyone, no. My answer to you is that select a few people that you believe have got the same vision as you. And those that you speak to, when they listen to you, and you can hear that, okay, these people actually are listening to what I'm saying, come with them and teach. But where you are correct is to say that we really need to start redefining what is a man, a Black man, what is a Black woman. Because before everything was based on a great balance. It was your qualities, what you actually put on earth for.
Naturally
Then
can
Nazim
do.
Cheetah was dead. So we'll find a proper equilibrium. Whereas now you can do whatever I do.
Yeah.
You know? So right now the man is like, ish, then what am I doing here?
Yeah.
That's why now I'm fit, no matter what I do, I need to earn more. Aye. In this relationship, I must just earn more.
And you see, so now going to the guys that we've had on the show,
Yeah.
Kibine, in terms of you talking about earning more,
Yeah.
do you think these women are rightfully asking what they deserve?
Yeah, they can ask for it, but they must also put in the work. For them, they have no right, some of them. Because they're lazy. You are lazy, but you want to ask for things that are far from you. Like, what do you mean? No, you can't just be lazy and ask for things. No.
So me wanting to be a housewife who doesn't do anything is a concept that should not exist.
No, it can exist. Find the guy for you. It's fine. Some of us are not the guy for you.
Okay.
Yeah, find the guy that believes in a housewife. I don't believe in a housewife in this modern era. I think you can be at home, like most of the time you can be at home, but have a business outside.
That's
Like,
running.
That's running, Jay. At least complain about I got the wrong order today. Hey, husband, hey, things went. Because my kids must also see that, okay, mom is here most of the time,
But
she
there's
also has the
something she's
business.
doing.
Yeah. I don't believe in 100% housewife. I think that's dangerous. Because the guys that are out there and the women that are out there won't be the system that you're raising these kids in.
Do you think this idea of 100% dependent woman or wife is one of the contributors to GBV?
Say that again?
Do you think the idea of these women who have obviously complained or have, opened cases of GBV is due to the fact that they are 100% dependent on these men, or they've 100% decided to be house girlfriends or house
I think that one is
girlfriends?
complex. I don't think there's one specific answer, but some of it that is a contributor. Some, for some people. I don't think there's one formula to answer that.
So there's you can't say there's one thing that contributes to GBV. Like you could be an independent woman working and you'll still experience.
Yeah, sometimes you're just dating a monster. You're dating a guy that's not in tune with his emotions. He doesn't know how to express his emotions when they're at a certain point.
Yeah.
Equally. Shit, this is gonna get me in trouble. But anyway, equally though. So when a man reaches a certain peak where he can't express himself, no? He has to use physical violence. No?
So,
Oud.
yeah.
Equally, when a woman reaches a certain peak, they have to degrade a man to a point where he feels like nothing. No? We have made the other one more important than the other. We've made the physical one that, yeah, this one is the worst in society. But equally, I think, when the woman gets to that peak, when she's super angry, and she uses whatever words to make this man feel like nothing, that is equally dangerous. But we've made this other one to be the worst.
Yeah. So what I'm gathering from what you're saying is, we as a black society, and I'm specifically speaking black because we
no,
don't
yeah.
know what other cultures experience, right? We have normalized being in these precarious relationships with each other, right? Where a woman allows herself to be in a position where she speaks more, right? And I'm assuming it would be a female because
Yeah.
that's what we've got, words, right, to express ourselves. And a man feels like, because you guys don't naturally speak as much as we do, that he needs to resort to being physical to show what he's actually feeling or thinking, because I have more words than you do, right? But now, the reason I'm raising the point I'm raising, Gibine, is that I've noticed that as abantu abamnyama, right, we have made it okay to be in those type of relationships. It's become the norm.
Yeah.
Right? That the conversations amongst us as women, it's become the norm. So much that when you've got a man that is like a Q, who is more emotionally in tune, or maybe even emotionally mature, it's boring. He's boring. He's not man enough. He's not strong enough. He's not hard enough. He's not enough as a man, right? That you need a man that's going to be a little more aggressive with you, a little more of anything that, one that shows more of a negative energy makes him more manly, And I think that's one of the reasons that makes relationships so unintriguing for a lot of us single people, because it's like, then what's the point, right? I'm in a relationship so that what? So I can prove to you how womanly I am, and you can prove to me how manly you are, right? By being aggressive towards me, and I'm looking forward to meeting young couples that are very comfortable with the idea of just being comfortable.
Yeah.
With the fact that I have this type of man, this is where he's at, and I'm okay with it. And I've got this type of woman, and I'm okay with it. And the relationship is just smooth. Not to say there aren't problems, but smooth. Aguna drama that I've experienced.
We've normalized it, and it's because every environment that woman goes through or the man goes through, it's actually that. The conversation is not different. Remember, when you're boxed in a specific area and you're all behaving the same, that behavior becomes the norm. It becomes truth of that environment.
Yeah.
So if we're not halekasi, wire, and you're only hearing about, yeah, it's normal, and the woman are also hearing that, yeah, mara vele ndoda mele ngishaye vele,
Yeah.
Ayi, at least if if that's what you're constantly hearing,
It becomes your norm.
it's your truth. Up until maybe you go to other areas, they're like, no, man, I didn't you got it wrong. Didn't you got it right, no, man. And that's what happens in the hood sometimes. There was a time, I think it was 2 years ago, I stopped the fight between a girl and a guy. And the people are like, why are you stopping those people? Why? Because these people are going to be right now, they're going to sleep together. Tomorrow, they're going to do the same thing.
You're the problem.
Yeah. And that's what happened. After an hour, they came back with chilled, like they didn't fight. The next day, they were chilling again. That's why people tell him, I'm in a relationship. They was got to I could go to heaven by two. By the GBV, so pull. By two, by famous. GBV.
Sangena.
Lakena.
Nami ngangena. Hey.
Lakena.
Uzongangena
Hey,
mina. Ngakhomenta.
Bonana, no. They are married, banally show.
Angina mina.
Yeah.
Angina
Luna Leia. Hey, hey, wanna know? Banyala. Bamnati ntwana chelete remone bakrena.
Banengane.
Yeah. So the whole thing of I think we're fantasizing the whole idea of we need to save these relationships where there's GBV and whatnot. It's a fantasy because those people get back together. I think what men and women must start to question is that why do we go back?
Because Kibine, abuse is like, it's some form of adrenaline. It's like sex. You feel something and it hypes you and it elevates you. It elevates your emotions and your thoughts to a certain level that you need more of it. Because abuse is addictive. Remember, it's addictive because it lifts your emotions to a degree that drugs would.
Then why isn't there rehab for that then?
There is
Rehab for
therapy for relationships.
Oh,
It's
okay,
therapy.
cool. Okay, I'm thinking
Because
of it from a
you
drug
know
method.
you get so engulfed in this emotion of abuse, whatever it is, that when you're not with him or with her, you go to a low because ayikho leya drama. Yabo angithi usujwayele leya drama like kuyaliwa uvuka ekuseni ngo-6 a.m. uyathukwa yabo niyashayana bayakuscratcha yabo kune-drama that somebody who's obviously normal would understand that this is not normal and I need to walk away from it, and they walk away. But somebody who is driven mostly by their emotions, they get addicted to it. That's why you would stay in a relationship for 5, 10, 15, 20 years in an abusive relationship because it's the adrenaline. Until such time, the adrenaline doesn't do much for you anymore. And you start looking at it from a perspective of what exactly it is, which is it's abuse, right? And I feel sad for people who are in abusive relationships, because a lot of time they don't even know that they're in abusive relationships. That's why when you engage someone who's in an abusive relationship and you say, but you need to go, and then they're like, no, but yamazi, man. Yes, mayitagiwe. Yabo mayitagiwe unjena, but uzoba right kusasa, uzophuza amanzi abe right, abe sober. Ukuthi nje mayitagiwe urongo in because it becomes an addiction. And I think that's what separates us from people who are emotionally mature to see things for what they are, and people who can't. It takes time.
I think life orientation failed us. I don't know why we did that subject in school.
Why did you do that? Yeah, it
Life
really
orientation
did.
really failed us. Wasn't life orientation also supposed to work on the idea of emotion?
It was.
Being an emotional, intelligent human being?
Yeah, it was.
And it failed to do that.
Yeah. But that's also because relationships, because at that time you're still kids, they are not understanding that you are eventually going to be. The most important thing is career. That's all they're thinking about. But I really think the idea of relationships and friendships should be delved into life orientation, because people get into abusive friendships as well. Where you do
A friendship.
And some people do.
You tolerate a friend that's abusive.
Yes,
A friend.
give me
How
that.
cute yena mtho.
give me that.
You tolerate a friend that's abusive.
Yes.
That's not even your blood. Come, man.
It happens, Kibine, because remember, all of us are searching for some type of relation, and other people find fulfillment in friendships. You might find fulfillment in a relationship, and friendship doesn't necessarily mean, but some people, friendships mean a lot. And you find that that's somebody who sometimes even struggles with relationships, with how they relate to men or women, that they hold on to relating to their friends. And their friends use them, abuse them, take advantage of them, and control them. And until such time you realize, no, man, this friend, because now you would have explored other friends, met other friends, and you realize, no, lo mngani lo uyangiuser, uyangabuser, uyangenza kanje, ungenza kanje, wenza kanje.
You can't tell.
Then you can't tell.
Now I can't tell same time.
You see? Because you understand.
Yeah, no, useless. You can't tell. Now I'm at a point where now, as long as you're not benefiting me, you have nothing. Now you say they must benefit me financially.
How am I benefiting
But
you?
wait, emotionally? Oh, I can man. Ki feel like ngqondo is expanding.
Do I?
That one.
Do I
When you can guy.
no, but I'm your friend.
You know, pop. But you can't have, I think I think one of the things that we're not doing right in just human beings is that we're not speaking about what we get from specific people. You need to get something.
Yeah.
Can't just be with someone like
Nje.
getting zero. I cancel. Just with you, Nje, we just talk bums the whole day. I can't be with you. I must just cancel you.
There must be something.
There has to be something. That's
Do
why
you
you guys enjoy is toxic too much.
Do you get anything from me, Kevin?
He hasn't told her from
What do you get from me, Kevin?
No, I think with you, it's the expansion of the mind more than anything. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, I always learn
So
something
you
from you.
use me.
Naga use Anna vele. Can't use Anna vele mo lifing. And we made it seem like into use Anna as a bad thing. No, it's just the idea that I get something from you. You can't just associate with people and you get nothing. No ways, man. It's either you feel whole, you feel something when you're with this person. So you can't just do it. No, don't be friends with people you are getting nothing. You have a friend where you're getting nothing.
I don't know. Maybe.
You're in trouble. Get them diagnose them too.
You see me, Kibinene, I could date a guy like you because I'm bored.
Ah,
No, but for real.